dear friends, welcome back. In this video, we'll be studying general mechanism of hormone action. We'll be seeing the hormone action of lipid-soluble and water-soluble hormones. Let's start. Action of lipid-soluble hormones. Lipid-soluble hormones are steroid hormones and thyroid hormones. These hormones bind to intracellular receptors within the target cells. Intracellular receptors means these receptors are present inside the cell, either in a cytosol or in the nucleus. These hormones diffuse through lipid bilayer of plasma membrane and move into the cell. These hormones, because they are lipid soluble, so they can pass through lipid bilayer of the plasma membrane and enter into the cell. These hormones binds to and activate intracellular receptors within the cytosol or nucleus. Receptors for steroid hormones are present in cytosol and receptors for thyroid hormones are present in nucleus. Lipophilic signal molecules, which are the hormones that are lipid soluble that pass through plasma membrane and enter into the cell. Once these hormones are entered into cell, these bind to nuclear receptors, which are transcription factors that regulate the transcription of genes. These transcription factors turn specific nuclear genes on or off according to the signal. Some lipophilic signal molecules bind to cell surface receptors. These lipophilic signal molecules particularly bind to intracellular receptors, but there are some lipophilic signal molecules which also bind to cell surface receptors like water-soluble hormones. Example are eicosanoids. Eicosanoids are derived from arachidonic acid, which is carbon 20 fatty acid. Eicosanoids can are the example like prostaglandins and leukotrienes, which bind to cell surface receptors rather binding to intracellular receptors. Action of water-soluble hormones. Examples of water-soluble hormones are amine, peptide, and protein hormones. These hormones bind to cell surface receptors of target cells. Cell surface receptors are the integral transmembrane proteins. These are the proteins which are embedded in the lipid layer of plasma membrane. These proteins or these cell surface receptors span the entire plasma membrane. When water-soluble hormones binds to receptor at cell surface, it acts as first messenger. So water-soluble hormones are the first messenger. This first messenger causes production of second messenger inside the cell. Example of second messengers are cyclic AMP or cyclic GMP or diacylglycerol, where the specific hormone stimulated response takes place inside the cell. Or you can also tell that intracellular signaling cascade occurs. Here are the two diagrams. This diagram is of mechanism of water-soluble hormone action, and this diagram is of mechanism of lipid-soluble hormone action. Here is a secretory cell, which can be a gland, which secretes hormone, and this hormone is transported via bloodstream. Once it reaches the target cell, water-soluble hormone attaches to a cell surface receptor, and this attachment leads to a production of secondary messenger, and this secondary messenger initiates a intracellular signaling cascade. Either it be a cytoplasmic response or either it be a gene regulation. And in the second case, that is lipid soluble hormone, the secretory cell secretes hormone and transport via blood to a target cell. Once it reaches to a target cell, this hormone passes to a lipid bilayer of plasma membrane and enters into the cell, and this hormone binds to a intracellular receptor, either it be a cytosol or nucleus, and regulate the gene regulation or gene expression. Thank you. This is the end of the video. We have discussed the mechanism of hormone action of water soluble hormone and lipid soluble hormone.